Capricorn. Come in, come in. Hello, Capricorns. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. I am so appreciative of your presence, time, attention, and awareness as you truly warm my haunted heart. We are going to drop some ink in the Book of Blots, and we're going to scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. As well, we'll add on Tarot and Oracle, and where Mr. Ghost Gift is here, we have Ghost Tube for any audio editions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive release freely. So when you're ready, if you'd like to dive in and explore, let's go. All right, Book of Blots. You're welcome to fast forward if you're like not interested in this process, but that's okay. Just a reminder, we are here to create a portal to perceive in, less worrying about making a masterpiece. And I am doing my best to not feel rushed or that I need to speak through it. So thank you, Capricorns, fellow Capricorns. I hope you are doing well. I adore you. Yeah? Okay. Cappies, feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel. Drop an emoji. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated.
Can you hear it?
Caps, as you know, we're creating in your name and honor, as you are my muse. And I appreciate you, Capricorn. This process is always very therapeutic for me. And I hope it is too for you. But if it's not, again, please just fast forward accordingly. Spill. Danger, Will Robinson. What's going on in the Capricorn Collective? Hope you guys are doing well. If I recall, I've heard Pluto's back in our sign for a bit.
Lower your voice.
Let's not say it out loud. To inevitably leave forever? Or am I making that up? Or in this lifetime, I shouldn't say forever, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's, oh my goodness, what am I doing? I'm all over the place. It's pretty exciting.
Virgo.
Not gonna lie. Kind of love it. All right, not actually going to use that. Capricorns, when you're ready, I'm just about ready myself to fold. Thank you. No, there's actually a different red I prefer. I don't even know if that's it. It's okay. All right, Caps. How are you doing? When you're ready. If you'd like to take a nice deep breath. Oh, closing the eyes. Cleansing the palette of perception. Releasing the race in the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of the Capricorn Collective. Thank you for being my muse, Cappies, and may you meet a message with meaning. And perhaps if you're a cross-watcher, you shouldn't be here. All right, Cappies. Ooh, we got some ink flowing. That's all right. If you want to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time, personal use only, just artistic protection, but thank you. Feel well to do so. All right, so
closet.
Capricorns, I feel like I am just going to try and pull up some of this ink here. I feel like I am in a very beautiful space with a lot of feeling in my lungs. I am clearing things out. There's handcuffs in here. There's, okay,
Where?
so red shoes like Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home, but what I was initially led into was those kinds of stilettos or shoes, high heels. It doesn't have to be that, but because I think there's also like more of like loafer shoes. They have red on the bottom. And I want to think that there's like some sort of like underlying message that's a little eepy-cray, but I'm not going there because that's not relevant. What to me this feels like is some sort of power in the bottoms of my feet, some sort of stature that is so like I'm not one for name brands and all that kind of stuff because I just don't know. But it's almost like that certain kind of shoe
Over here.
has this subtle way, like as you're walking, you would pull up and you would see the redness on the bottom of the shoe says something to other people. This isn't about an actual, now for some it might be a material reflection out, but I feel like this is a spiritual kind of symbol or a sign symbol that I am stepping into this shoe into some form of power. And it's like a little thing to people that might be observing you. And even to oneself. It's like wearing lingerie under your, or like power underwear under your gardening stuff. You know what I mean? Or you're going to work and it's very bland dressing, but you've got like your favorite socks that are full of color. There's a specific energy that's stepping forward. Now I'm seeing it like in this way that I'm trying to get out of my face, but maybe that's something you're also looking to find. Like, what is this little thing hidden in plain sight, but it's kind of like self-respect, if I may. It's like, I am no longer playing by the rules that are, I'm not being rebellious, don't get me wrong, and I'm not being rammy. I am being me, and I'm going to walk my talk and talk my walk kind of with this no guilt, no shame feeling. Because I have this sense, like Capricorn, so can I bring it up? Will it come up? There is this like peacockery afoot, and it's almost like that. Anytime maybe you felt like you were about to shine before or get into your groove, something along that lines, you put the shoe on, somebody like, no, you don't wear those shoes. In the best way I can say, it's almost like coming into a villain era, but you're not a villain. But the essence, the feeling when you see a villain in a show depicted, they have an air of no tomfoolery. And this is the feeling I'm getting. No, especially emotional. No one's going to puck around with my emotions and get their grubby little hands in there and try and mold me to the way they think. Even if when I say they, it's me. Respectfully, because that seems to be most of the case. Does this make sense? Capricorn, like even in it, I'm just kind of like no muss, no fuss, kind of digging it. But at the same time, I feel like there's this hesitancy to put the shoe on and walk it because the ground's not level, or where I'm walking isn't, like, say if you're wearing high heels and you're going onto like dirt land. Well, that's not ideal. Here's the thing. This symbolic red bottom shoe, there's loafers, flats, sandals. It doesn't have to be stuck to one kind of shoe. It can be work boots, steel toe boots, sandals, flip-flops to a loafer. It's when you slip into them, even slippers, I can't help but kind of like, it's raw, but it's very, very real. It's in the emotional body now, and it's being invited into the density
Medicine.
body. See them even like poking their heads through here. Oh, I got like these big spirals. And I'm actually drawing things in closer and closer. These look like crystals, like crystal lungs. There's a jet ski in here. There's somebody leaving something or going on a trip. Blue dragons might mean a thing as well to you. Blue dragons, if that symbol means
What
anything.
is happening?
I don't know. We never know what's happening. We're here to experience the explorer. This is how you expand. I feel like my higher self right now is, okay, thank you. A piece of my crown that communicates with my higher self is watching this happen as this is all coming in. It could have that sense, the way this figure is sitting. Like I feel like I'm not a part of it because this feels like physical, material world power. And for a moment, my crown chakra, my higher self concept can feel like, oh, I'm not in this. Like this is raw power, like V8 kind of stuff. But I'm not out of this. It's waiting for this emotional and earthly energy to coalesce, generate like an engine. And then I will move in to integrate the whole thing. So that there's always some form of intelligence, not just earthly from the brain, but there is this crown consciousness intelligence this is the feeling. It's like Capricorn, basically your crown is being put on, but it's still being built by you, for you. Okay, give me a moment. And what's being infused in it has something to do with the heart, the throat. It's all the higher chakras. Here's the thing.
Stop it.
It's in a forging fire process, red on the bottom of the shoe, to take your place in your point of power if you haven't already, or are still like when you buy new shoes and you gotta, mold them in a little bit. And then there's, like I said, there's all these different kinds of shoes. You're giving off an air like people can't figure it out. I can't figure it out in this moment. And I'm trying to observe it. Like, how would I describe seeing this Capricorn energy and wherever it is in your sign, or your birth charts? But if you're focusing on this Capricorn energy and, where it is for you, how do you describe this? I could say calm, cool, and collected, but it looks calm, but it's not cool unless it's cool, kind of cold. But this is part of it's Capricorn, so cold, a very common thing as a Capricorn here. And it's I'm not at all. But respectfully, when I need to concentrate or focus, and you choose that time to want something or need something, that's not reading the room or respecting my energy. And that's just applying an attribute to me as saying, well, you're cold.
Keep recording.
No, I'm not at all cold. But sometimes timing can be everything. Sometimes taking a hot second to go, I'll come back. That is amazing. That awareness is amazing. And
Goodbye.
I feel, goodbye, thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry, because I'm trying to, plop myself into this point of power, putting on these shoes, and how would I describe Capricorn's energy amongst the zodiac signs, and picking out, it's just raw power that has been cooked to perfection based on, it's like getting a steak. How do you want it? Rare, medium rare, blah, you want butter on it, you want the, to whatever your preferences
okay?
are, I am okay, contrary to how the energy of this, and that might be a question. People are like, are you okay? Yes. Yes, I am okay. Because I am in my power according to my preferences.
Graveyard.
And I've gone through, it's almost like I am noticing as I'm in this stature with you, I'm somehow walking through, maybe right now, maybe for the next little bit, maybe for, winter is coming or your fall season, your summer season. But right now, it might feel like I am walking around a Capricorn cemetery, looking at all of the tombstones and the headstones and the messages of people, places, and things that have come and gone, re-risen, returned, cremated. And I'm not trying to be creepy about it, but you're here and I love me spooky, not scary. This is what this feels like in my lungs. Like I am breathing in the air of peace and
Regret.
power as I walk through my own Capricorn cemetery, and I'm not shying away. Let not my confidence walk as I'm walking through, indicate ego. This is confidence of essence.
Keep going.
And that requires raw, red power of what I care about, what my love is attached to. If I was to attach the color red right now to love, not saying, and whatever love is, the power of love. There's a gentleman in here. He is operating a scoopery, it's not a bulldozer, but it's something along that lines. Forgive me. The buckety thing. And I am at, how do I say, the dump. I am at the garbage, the wastelands. And this is kind of where some recycling has happened before. Capricorn, I feel like you may understand that you've been dumped on a bit. You've been dumped on a bit. Now, we can go around the cemetery and walk around and say, and it was you, and it was you, and it was you. Emotionally, I'm not attached to that anymore. I can understand that, how that held me in connection with that limiting energy, or that small point of perspective. So when I go now to like this dump, and there's seagulls and there's all these different energies with this bulldozer kind of feel, but there are energies in animals of realms that most wouldn't want to work with, that you are working with to help the ecosystem of this break down. So you can then utilize the dump or the garbage pile of what maybe, you've received and just taken on, or whatever the case is. And but you're actually working with energies that are dismantling it, breaking it down with nature, not just waiting for nature to take its course. You're like, I can work with, perhaps the rat element, or I can work with the seagulls. I can work with these animals and energies to assist the vultures, etc. But it's very specific to that container of the dump. When I walk through the cemetery, it's like I can see all these ghosts come through. And now it's like I commune with the spirit of the space. There's a masked gentleman, feels very, very old. Okay, very, very old. And so imagine like this is the face,
Follow
and he
me.
has green paint, like indigenously, like they normally have like the red paint. I shouldn't say normally, it's what's, out there right now, but there might be another tribe. It doesn't have to be indigenous here specifically. Maybe it's a different tribe or culture. I don't know if they have green paint here. And that, like, for me, it's like speaking of the heart. And it's almost as if anyone or anything wants me to hate, speak hate, even to things that have hurt, that are youthfully seeing things in a different way, or whatever the case is. I will not speak that because somebody else wants me to. I will speak with heart. Okay. There's a ghost of a goat who patrols the cemetery. I'm also seeing a corkscrew, like a wine one. I think that's what it is. Communication and expansion are coming through. This is literally what we do here at I Scry with Staff. We literally explore, expand, and communicate. But this is like that ethereal space feeling, like walking around the piece of your own cemetery. And it's like, but it's like a garden. It's a garden to you now.
Who?
There's a map also. You have a map. Reflection. Mount Shasta Moon, California. You've been through all of this communication. Like, see how this card in the background, and I just do love that card. Like, see how she's like, or he or she, doesn't matter, is dipped in oil. Like, place that right in here, black and white. You are a blended powerhouse. I gotta write that down. Can I just bring you over here? I don't know why I keep it over there. A blended powerhouse. There's also shredding going on, like a paper shredder. It's bringing me kind of like back into the, the dump or the wasteland of sorts. But even so, you're like, I can see maybe whatever things in my past, in my mind, heart space, whatever the case may be, apply any channel, personal, professional, corporate, creative. I can see this as a wasteland and a stinky space, or I can see this as an opportunity to shred, cultivate, like I said, work with other things, and have it break down with nature and become something amazing. Become something that it's like a renewal substance.
Leave it.
There's something very clearly, though. I don't know if before, or perhaps, I'm not talking about like necessarily like not accepting, receiving help, but in like the second hand. I'm a thrifter, so I love me some secondhand stuff. However, this is about taking secondhand maybe points or positions, or when you choose, no matter if you choose something brand new, as an example, person, place, job, or even if that job, if you go in for a job or you're changing jobs, that was somebody else's job and they have since left or been removed, and you're, coming in. It's not a sloppy second situation, but it's kind of that feel. Capricorn's not coming into an era of sloppy seconds will do. And even when you step into a role, like say somebody else's position or somebody else's chair or office or shoes or dresser or shirt, whatever the case may be, you actually very clearly leave that old energy that they try to, like, oh, okay, and you infuse it and you bring it into life again. You can sit in that chair at that job and bring something that wasn't there before, because you're in a certain kind of power. It's very particular, it's very potent, and it's going to become more potent as you decide where you want to focus. But this isn't like having some sort of inferno energy. It might feel like that because I feel like at moments when I go back to the cemetery, I can wander around the cemetery of things that have been buried. Maybe some of the dirt has been disturbed, so I can see maybe somebody tried to like claw out or ring a little bell saying, no, I'm still alive, or I want to talk, or whatever the case is. And as I keep walking, there's like the mausoleum, and there's different crypts that maybe certain people, places, or things in my life held, bigger spaces. And then there's the crematorium, and that's like the inferno. When it's being used to cremate something, it has its place and honor. But then this is also, I'm not just going to just be an inferno. Do you know what I'm saying? But I will feel that. I will feel that and know I can do something with that that benefits you. Because in turn, by benefiting you, it benefits everybody around you. And I'm not taking sloppy seconds.
Weak.
I feel very reflective that I am balanced in this emotional and earthly expression. But that means to some degree where my heart and my crown communicate, because they're the ones creating the actual crown that will be placed. There is a big old puzzle piece in my head, in my brain, that something didn't make sense. I don't know what it is, and I don't know most of the time I don't know what it is for me, but you know what I'm saying. What is it? What is the big old puzzle piece? Love. Maybe it's self-love. Maybe it's self-care, or having the gall to say, I don't want to, or I prefer to go about it this way. Is it Frank Sinatra? I'll have it my way. I've expanded, communicated along the way of I feel like I have said things as kindly as possible, as nice as possible, so I don't activate or irritate the inferno in others. This has been a very kind gesture that I feel Capricorn collectively, knowingly or not, has done a favor, as we may apply it, to the collective. But upon reflection and bringing this expansion in, it's always been about love and putting almost everything else first. While somehow having the blame or projection of being selfish and always putting oneself first. So Capricorn's like, what? How is that possible? That's how you perceive me? How is that possible when everything I do is wrapped up and entangled? And I actually, in whatever regards this is, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I feel very forceful, Capricorn, so I'm going to go with it. And it's like, I have actually not been following my fullest desires. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat as I say that. Because it's like, excuse me? Let me slip into my red shoe. And then let's have this conversation. And let me remind myself that I was never looking for this badge. Capricorn was never looking for the high five or the power position. It was actually helping to assist power in other people, and then have it projected on. It's like, okay, well, I prefer not to do this, or I'd like to go about it this way. And it's like, well, who the hell are you? And Capricorn has been super patient. I don't know if the collective knows that, or this is a Capricorn secret. Capricorn has been super patient. And now, not being irresponsible, but now, love is the driving force. And if it was not appreciated before, or even attempted to be appreciated. Excuse me. Getting over a gentle cold, and I'm sure it doesn't help that I'm like, rawr, in this reading. But Capricorns, I'm not even going to apologize. It is what it is. Because then I have leadership coming up. It's like love has always been Capricorn's way. Life force energy with the Messiah in Africa. There's that red. There's that red. There's also red magic wands. Hummingbird nectar is red. The elixir in which Capricorns, it's not about blood running hot. It's who can turn the tap on to let it get hotter and hotter and hotter. And now like Capricorn's like, no, you don't get to touch my taps. This isn't to not interact or connect. I want that to be understood, because this is a very emotional
Stop recording.
and a very earthly embodiment of these bodies. And it's almost as if there's this possibility that I would want to shy away from this. And I get it. There's a lot of things we love and care about that may distract us from this embodiment. No more. And I will learn the language of love to communicate it in the best way possible so that it is received and appreciated, even if it's not understood or liked. There's a small story up here. The people are leaving or coming. It's like I'm back at the dump area for a moment, and a bunch of people or energies have tried to come and like leave things. You know, it's like when people leave garbage bags on the side of the road, like not on garbage day, and it's just like, what?
Candle.
It's like they came to drop off some stuff for you to kind of have to sift through to keep you distracted, to keep you sifting through things, thinking that they're treasures. And there's an exterminator right there. There is a massive blue dinosaur. And these energies that may be coming in or try to, it may still, you know, it's like having a junkyard or scrap metal or just treasures, and you protect it with a fence or a dog, and, you know, but people will still try to get in or whatever. But it's like, as they're doing that, they're actually on the back of this big blue dinosaur.
It's
that
cold.
Once the exterminator steps forward, this dinosaur like lifts up and shakes them off. And they weren't expecting that, because that dinosaur has always kind of been sleeping a little bit. And here's the irony. This is the cold part. You know, that attribute. I'm not saying that's a truth if you're a Capricorn has never been told that or feel that within yourself.
Innocent.
But I can definitely understand for myself. But thank you, Ghost Tube, because that's what it feels like. I'm like, I was actually keeping a part of my purity safe in ice. So what was cold? When people say you're being very cold or whatever, like I said, I was focused, or I was working with my life force energy that I was trying to purify and keep pure. And sometimes,
Give it back.
you know, it's like fire of heat burns, but you can also get ice burn too. Capricorn. I'm going to add on a talisman and then head over to the extended. Yeah, you're more than welcome to leave, and we are going to leave as well. We're going to head over to the extended. This is one of those readings that I was like, maybe I should not put it out there because it's very, but you know what? Sometimes it's just got to happen that way, and that's okay. I want to note that even in the love card, there's a reflection pool here right beside the card reflection. You're definitely taking the lead in your love. And this is the thing. It's always been about peace. Peace is for Capricorn. Finding pieces, putting the piece together. I have no problem in this ink pot putting on warrior paint, doing what I need to do. There are old bird bones that remind me of things, and they still look out. You have some foggy energies that have, they're being asked to leave by their own wisdom. If there's also been a part of you, Capricorn, that has felt duct taped by the mouth, that is changing. That is changing. Straight up, it's changing.
Protect.
Casting away negative energy is on the bottom. And this isn't because, you know, it's like, oh, I'm filled, or I'm looking for all these reasons to be like negativity. No, it's just cemetery, the dump, or the junkyard. I'm changing the forms of it. Capricorn energy, changing the forms of it. And that's, it's not a job for everybody. Not everybody wants to do that. Be the landlord of these landscapes that one looks very calming and soothing on the surface, but is, you know, has hurt and grief and sorrow underneath it, but is trying to transmute it. And then with the junkyard or the dump, it's, you know, smelly and garbage, but it's being condensed and broken down to become compost for something, possibly even in the cemetery for rebirth. But those aren't places everybody wants to work in, or energies even. I'm not talking about physical places. And however you may apply this. Okay, I'm getting all Ramy again, Capricorn. I'm going to flip this. I'll see you on the flip side if you're coming to the other side with me. 2 ways to join me. And if not, I'm so, so grateful that you're here for me. So much love. Bye. Capricorn.
Come over here.
Capricorn. Oh, man. Got a Capricorn caught in my throat.